It's a really nice floppy paperback. Oh, isn't that just ASMR of dreams? Just, oh, look at that ASMR floppy paperback. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. I am surrounded with books because right now I am about to film a book haul for you. I thought it would be fun to do a book haul of all the books I have hauled and accumulated within the months of February and March. Now, there's going to be no order to this, no rhyme or reason, and I may have missed books off. Honestly, my brain can't compute it. All I know is that there's like 30 plus books here. I'm going to try and talk about these in as much detail as possible in as little time as possible because we don't want to be here all day. If you didn't know, I've actually been on a book ban for Lent, and I've somehow managed to accumulate more books than I would have done in a typical month. This is how we know we have a problem. I've got a pile of ARCs, or like sent to me by the publisher or the author that I'm going to talk about. I have got books from like book subscription boxes that I'm going to talk about. I've got books that I've bought with my own money or from book swaps, and then I've also got books that I've been gifted from lovely Bookstagram friends. Let's start with my book swap slash bought with my own money pile. I am actually part of a Facebook group and it's called Beth's Big Book Swap, and on there you can swap books and also you can sell books, but the rule is you're only allowed to sell them for like the cost of postage. The first book that I have hauled in this is gonna be long, I'm really sorry, is These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling. This has been on my radar for a very long time. I have actually read it at the time of filming this and I rated it 5 stars. I loved it so much. So many friends on Bookstagram told me that I would love this. It's Sapphic witches and they were not wrong. I really loved this. I then also got from Beth's Big Book Swap Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I've heard amazing things about all of her earlier writing. I think the Villains series is what I've heard the best about, and I'm very intrigued to see what the hype is about. And then my most recent one, which I actually did get on my book ban, I'm not sure if it counts or not, and it is The Project by Courtney Summers. I have seen Mollie has read this very recently and they really enjoyed it, so I'm super excited. I haven't read Sadie or any of this author's other stuff, so this will be my first experience of this author. I've heard really mixed things about it, but it's based on a cult. I think that's basically the extent of my knowledge. This is really high on my radar actually. I've spoken about this before, but I don't know if I've spoken about it on BookTube before. So there is this website called Book Swap. I think it is UK only. If you have a book swap credit, you can then buy any book on the website for the cost of postage. Such a good website. So I'm not sponsored by them, but if you do want to get involved with it, and it's so much fun, you can have like a wish list on it and it will notify you when a book that you want is on the site. You can sign up using my link. It's always in my description boxes, and if you sign up with my link you get 2 swapping credits on sign up, which yes please. And then I also get an extra one, which always means the world if you sign up with my link. Recently I got 3 books from Book Swap. The first one is King of Scars by Leah Bardugo. It is one of the most stunning naked hardcovers I've ever seen in my life. This was £3.50. I actually can't comprehend it. I am 2/3 of the way through the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Then I'm really keen to read Six of Crows, and then I'm desperate to read the Nikolai prequel, like of course. Like I was so excited to have found this on Book Swap, like what a find. The next one I found also I was so excited to find because getting your hands on this secondhand is not an easy feat. I've been looking for it for a while, and it is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I've seen a lot of good things about this series. I have heard that once you get to the end, you need the second book immediately. So I have held off from reading it for the time being. But once I saw it secondhand, I couldn't say no. I've seen it likened to like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and One of Us is Lying and that kind of vibe. But apparently it's like a really well written YA mystery. So I'm excited. And then the final one that I got from Book Swap recently was The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This has been on my radar for a very long time. Ever since I read The Flat Share and Our Stop, I asked for like similar vibe recommendations, and this one came up a lot. All I know about it is that it's like enemies to lovers, office kind of romance, and I'm excited. The final one that I bought with my own money was from Books. So if you don't know me, I love finding books secondhand as and when I can. It just makes me feel good. After I read The House in the Cerulean Sea, I obviously needed to get more books by TJ Klune. So I managed to get The Extraordinaires for £6.50 on Books. It's a hardback, it's immaculate, and I'm so excited about it. All I know about it is that it's gay superheroes, but honestly, after reading Cerulean Sea, I don't need to know anything about any of TJ Klune's books to know that I want to buy them. So I am going to segue into books that publishers and authors have sent to me. The first three are all Bloomsbury upcoming releases because I took part in the Bloomsbury Night In. I did like an IGTV explaining it all on my Instagram if you are interested. But because of that amazing event, I did get sent some incredibly exciting ARCs. I have actually lent a few of them to my nan because they were way more up her street than they are mine. So I have three here. The first one is Greenwich Park by Catherine Faulkner. This is a thriller, and a lot of people have been saying this is going to be one of the most anticipated thrillers of the year. There's Helen Has It All, Daniel is the perfect husband, Rory is the perfect brother, Serena is the perfect sister-in-law, and Rachel is the perfect nightmare. Now, I've got a few friends that have read NetGalley arcs of this and have said it's incredible. Like, they read it in a day. I know Reading with Emma on Instagram read it in a day and loved it. The next one is also a thriller, and this I think is one of my most anticipated releases of the year. It is The Other Black Girl by Zakia Dahlia Harris. This is out in June and I'm planning on reading it closer to publication. This is a stunning arc. I did mention it in my March TBR. I didn't read it in March. I'll probably read it in May. Final one is Animal by Lisa Taddeo. This is her first novel. I know Three Women was her debut, but that was non-fiction, I believe. It's out in summer 2021, in June as well. I have to say I didn't read Three Women. It wasn't really up my alley. However, this is fiction and it sounds definitely more up my alley. I think it's about like the anger and how men respond to women being angry. There's not really a blurb on this and I don't know a whole lot about it. I am very, very intrigued by it. I had an author get in touch with me on Instagram about his fantasy series and asked if I'd be interested in reading his book. And he actually sent me the first two books in the series in case I liked the first one, which is just so generous. These are heavy books, but I'm super excited about them. So they are The Threat Below and A Gallery of Mothers by J.S. Latshaw. Basically, from what I understand about this, it's a society that lives on a mountain because below society there's monsters that destroyed civilization hundreds of years ago. It pushed humanity to the brink of extinction, and for the first time they must leave the safety of the mountain to confront the legendary monsters that decimated civilization years ago. It sounds so good. It sounds so up my alley. The next one I may have screamed when it arrived and it is Malice by Heather Walters. This is a stunning arc, as you can see, and it is also coming out in April very soon, and it is a sapphic retelling of Sleeping Beauty. Yes, you heard that right, where the villain falls in love with the princess. That is all I know, and that's all I need to know, because I don't think I've ever been more excited. Massive thank you to Del Rey for sending me this. Also received from Pride Book Tours my copy of Infinity Reaper by Adam Silvera. I'm currently reading this and I'm really, really enjoying it. It's the sequel to Infinity Sun and I'm very excited to finish this and review it. My stop on the tour is the 30th of March, so that will definitely be on my Instagram by now. I'll insert my little picture here if I remember. If not, I'm just putting my hand here and look like an idiot. But yeah, really, really enjoying this, and a massive thank you to Pride Book Tours for allowing me on your tour. Got two more arcs. The first one is Dream Country by Ashay Brown. This is a mixture of Jamaican, Brazilian, Grecian and Kenyan inspired fantasy. It basically follows 3 siblings, triplet gods of sleep, dreams and nightmares, and the only thing that's keeping them bound is the fact that they have all been accused of their mother's death. And it sounds amazing and I'm so excited to read this. Final book that has been sent to me by a publisher, I'm so excited again, is Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Basher-Doost. I hope I've pronounced the name right. This is a standalone sapphic fantasy, and that is all I know, and that is all I need to know. It came out in paperback in March, and I did actually request this knowing how much I wanted to read it. A massive thank you to Hodescape for this copy of this book. Okay, then let's do book subscription boxes. So I am subscribed to Fairy Loot, the Illumicrate book only, and then I'm also a rep currently for Along the Spine, which is a beautiful small business over on Instagram. So in my rep package this month I got Red Rising by Pierce Brown, which is crazy because literally in my Fairy Loot unboxing I was saying how much I wanted to read this. So I think Meg is actually partially psychic. I'm super excited to read this series, and that's all I need to say really because I don't know anything about it. The Fairy Loot book of the month, if you don't know what it was for February yet, spoilers ahead, was This Golden Flame by Emily Victoria. I have read the synopsis of this, but I don't remember enough to cohesively tell you about it. I do know I think there's asexuality rep in here, and I think it's about robots, and I'm just very, very excited. It's a stunning copy of the book. Yes, I plan on reading this very, very soon. And then the February Illumicrate book was A Dark and Hollow Start by Ashley Shuttleworth. I have actually read this. I really, really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. Basically 4 queer fae saving the world. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. It's a stunning edition again. And yeah, I love a good subscription box. I just love it. Then I think at the start of Feb, I won a giveaway. I got sent 2 books from it. So the first of those is The Crossover by Kwame Alexander. This is a book in verse, and it's about brothers who are basketballers, and that's all I know. I love books in verse. I haven't been reading as many of them as I would normally like to. I feel like sometimes my TBR overtakes them, but I'm really excited to read this. It's a super short book in verse, so I'll definitely be able to squeeze it into a TBR at some point, hopefully soon. And then I also got Love Frankie by Jacqueline Wilson. I was obsessed with Jacqueline Wilson growing up. I haven't read any of her books for a good many years, probably like 10 years since I last read a Jacqueline Wilson, so I'm really excited to get to this. And Under the Dust Jacket is just really cool. And as I've mentioned many times before, I'm in a lovely group chat on Instagram called Chatterbooks, and sometimes we just do some book exchanges for fun. So we did like a Valentine's Day book exchange, and we had to sort of gift along the theme of love, and Heidi from Chatterbooks got me, and she sent me like a love story. This has been on my radar for quite a long time. I believe it's about queer people and AIDS, and that is the extent of my knowledge of it. I do think it's going to be quite a heavy book, but I also think it's going to be a beautiful one. You will have seen in a recent vlog, my lovely friend Mollie from Booktube, Mind of Mollie, sent me a couple of books because they're amazing. And they sent me Beyond the Black Door by A.M. Strickland. I am using this as another opportunity to tell you how much I loved this book. It was 5 stars. I loved it so much and I want to reread it. And it follows Kamai, who is an asexual main character who can walk in other people's souls, and every single soul she goes in, there is the same black door that calls her name and tempts her, and her mum told her never to go through the black door, but she does. And it's really, really good. And Mollie also got me The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, and if the reviews that I have seen are anything to go by, this book is sensational and I am incredibly, incredibly excited for it. Then I think it must have been in February, my lovely friend Jack on Instagram sent me Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. If you don't know my love for this series yet, then you're learning now how much I love this series. I still haven't read the 3rd book, but I'm just savouring it. I'm savouring every second. But yeah, I loved Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I loved this one just as much. This was a 5-star read as well. And a massive thank you to Jack for sending me this. Then from the lovely Read with Laws on Instagram, I got sent Love is a Revolution by Renee Watson. I've seen some really great things about this. I think the main character in this book like changes who she is to impress a guy, and it's about like them falling in love, but she's changed who she is. I'm really, really keen to read it. I haven't read a Renee Watson book before, but I know that this author has written a lot of fantastic YA stuff, so I'm really, really excited for this one. Then Emma at Reading with Emma, Valentine's Day treated me to Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow. This book was so wholesome. I loved it so much. It was like a hug in a book. It was one of the cutest middle grades I've ever read, and I think it'll be really beneficial for a lot of readers out there, like young readers. I gave this 4 stars. I loved it so much. Can we just appreciate this artwork? It's beautiful. And yeah, massive thank you to Emma for this one. And then the final book, I've been filming for 40 minutes, is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. This has been on my radar ever since it was released at the start of the year. Well, in paperback at the start of the year. And the lovely Rob sent me his paperback copy because someone sent him a US hardback edition, and he immediately said that I could have his paperback, which just means the world to me. I'm so excited. I think I'll definitely get to this in April. It's just so anticipated for me, so I'm really, really excited. That concludes my book haul. I really hope future editing Amie manages to make this a little bit more concise. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed. If you have read any of the books I've spoken about, let me know what you thought of them. I am really keen to know. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed to my channel. I post bookish videos regularly, and if you liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It really means the world and it really does help me out. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!